Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wednesday show here on Vegas Tips and Tricks. Couple of notes on the weeks to come. Next Wednesday we're going to do our monthly, although I think it's been over a month, but we're going to do our monthly live stream, which we pretty consistently do at 6 o'clock Vegas time. That's 8 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone, 9 o'clock if you're on the East Coast, and I guess 7 o'clock if you're in the Rocky Mountains. We know some people in the Rocky Mountains, so there you go. And God only knows it's the middle of the night in England and Ireland and places like that. So we're counting down our top 10 most memorable trips to Vegas. I guess memorable, best, I don't know. Last week we started out with a couple of honorable mentions, and there were a couple of additional honorable mentions that I wanted to throw out this week. I don't know that I'm going to do that every week, but I did want to throw out a couple of trips. One of them was my first trip in 2011. I was in town for 5 nights from the 17th to the 22nd, and on my last night I was playing over at the back bar of the Palm. I was playing at the back bar, they're playing some video poker. Was getting down to, was running my $100 that I had decided to play down pretty low, and I finally got my very first royal flush. So that was a pretty memorable night. It was interesting because it was a hand pay. I don't know why. I guess maybe the sort of Tito technology was not where it is today 10 years ago. But it was a hand pay. I think I tipped the lady like 20 or 40 bucks. So I don't know I don't know if that was enough or too much or whatever. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. So I was able to really sort of party and enjoy my last night in town. So that was kind of fun. And that's the main reason that trip is so memorable. Another honorable mention I wanted to throw out there was my summer 2014 trip, June 29th. And I left on July 5th, so it was the day after the 4th. I was actually in town for the 4th, but I did do a couple. I stayed downtown the first 4 nights at Fremont, which had been kind of my go-to place to stay for a couple of years. And the thing there, I think every day after I finally got up and around, I went down and I caught the little Strip Express bus right across the street at Binion's, and went to the Strip. On the trip, I did 2 things I had not done before, and really until recently had not done again. I took a tour of the Mob Museum. God, I can't believe that's been that long ago. That was, by the way, the summer of 2014, if I did mention that. So that was kind of cool. And then the very same day, that afternoon, I went to the High Roller, which had just opened, I believe, a couple of months before that, and took a daytime ride on that. So that's why those 2 trips kind of stuck in my head. But the 8th and 7th most memorable trips for me, we'll start out with number 8, which, because we're counting down, not up, figure it out, was my birthday trip in 2016. This was like the first trip where I was really sort of luxuriating in my new diamond status with, well, at the time they still called it Total Rewards, but later Caesars Rewards. And so it was the first trip that I had stayed fully comped and fully cuddled, I guess, at a Caesars property. First couple of nights I spent at the Orleans. The most memorable thing about that is, and no, I was not plastered, I accidentally got locked out of my room in my underwear. Thankfully I was wearing something, but that was pretty memorable. And then the other thing that was kind of memorable on that trip was I ended up getting tickets on September the 7th. Yeah, it was the day after my birthday, which is the 6th. I was there from the 3rd to the 9th, by the way. On the night of the 7th, I was able to get tickets comped through my host at the time to the Britney Spears show at there at Planet Hollywood in the, I think at the time, I don't know if it was the Zappos Theater then or something else. Somebody remind me what it used to be called, as I think at that time it may not have been Zappos just yet. But And that was a really, really fun show to set through. Whatever. I'm kind of a Britney fan, so sue me. It's a great way to bond with women in their late 30s to mid 40s. So there you go. But yeah, so that was a fun trip. And it was, I guess it would be the third time that I was in Las Vegas on my birthday, after 2011 and 2013. And then obviously most recently this past year for Mark Timber and John Timber, I guess. Okay, and then the number 7 trip, which was a very interesting trip for a number of reasons. One of which is because I got sick. It was pretty memorable. The first 4 nights of this trip, let me see, was it the 15th? I was there. I'm sorry, I got to go to my information. I was there from July 12th to the 18th. I got in, that was a Sunday, I know, because I got checked into my room at the Hard Rock in the old casino tower, the ones where you kind of had this little balcony, but not really, but you could open the window and look out, and got to check out what was going on at Hard Rock was rehab, right? Yeah, rehab. And it was, the DJ was like one of the guys from Jersey Shore. I mean, how can you not just sit in your room and enjoy that mayhem? But, so I got to see rehab, even though I was getting nowhere near that pool, which I have to hope at least that Virgin, emptied the entire city of bleach to take care of that. But was there for that. And then one of the reasons I'd wanted to stay at the Hard Rock was because this was during the NBA Summer League, and I wanted to go over there at least one day and check out Summer League, and I did. I ended up seeing the Lakers, Knicks, and then also later the Jazz and Timberwolves. So that was kind of a cool experience. Definitely, if you can check out Summer League sometime, if you're a basketball fan at least, definitely worth the experience. So I got to see a lot of players that are like big time stars now. So pretty cool. But unfortunately, I then ended up not feeling very well the next couple of days, and kind of just chilled, relaxed, ate comfort food. I remember getting chicken noodle soup at the old Lucky's 24/7. It was pretty good. But yeah, I didn't feel too good for a couple of days. The last 2 days of the trip, I moved over to SLS, which for some reason had decided to comp me a couple of nights, and I wasn't going to argue with that. And I did enjoy my stay there. The first day, I was still a little bit under the weather. The last day in town, I actually started feeling pretty good. But again, mostly stuck around the hotel, the casino there. And that night, playing on a Caveman Keno machine, I was playing 50 cents a press, as Bridger would say, and I hit for 500 coins, but it was with the 4 times multiplier. So for those of you doing math in your head, 4 times 500 is 2,000, and I was betting 50 cents, so that meant it was actually 4,000. And so I won $1,000 on that spin, which is still the biggest Keno win I've ever had. And so I proceeded to play in the high limit room, and I think I blew through 200 or 300 of that. But it was nice to win some money on the very last night in town. And so for a number of reasons, that was a pretty memorable trip. So I'd like to do that again. I'd like to go to Summer League again sometime, preferably not getting sick this time. I said next week, we won't do a regular show. We'll do a live on Wednesday night, and then we'll see what comes up. But we will do an episode again, of course, of Vegas Weekly this Saturday. Hope you'll stay tuned for that. We'll continue walking up and down the strip, and we'll talk more about any Vegas news and information, and maybe a tip here and there. All right, thanks for tuning in today on the Wednesday show, and we will see you all again real soon. Hope that until then, that you have a great, lucky, and healthy week. Bye-bye.